So, you want to look like the heroine of your very own period drama. You grew up watching The Mummy and Pride and Prejudice and Anna Karenina, and you loved that really soft, no makeup effect. I think we can all agree there's a little bit more to it. Well, that is simply a makeup look that I can help with. Let's get into it. My apologies for the fan. It is 30 degrees in my apartment. It is simply the reality of living in an Australian summer. The first thing that we have to talk about when it comes to the period drama look is what purpose does makeup serve on a film set in a period drama? It's essentially to present the idealized version of a barefaced woman. So a lot of what we're going to do today is going to be knocking back less desirable pigmentation and creating something very soft and flushed and idealized and romantic. You can take as many liberties with this as you want. I'm going to simply attempt to show you how this look is roughly curated and put together on set. And I'm using Lizzie Bennett in the thumbnail because despite Jenna Malone stating that she only wore SPF and a little bit of beetroot juice on the set of Pride and Prejudice, I will go to my deathbed thinking that Keira Knightley was wearing a brown smoky eye in that one. I've already prepped the skin. I prepped the skin with toner, serum, moisturizer and eye cream and an SPF, and now I'm going in with a thin layer of Corrector. I love these little trios for this purpose. This is from the Saem, it's a K-beauty brand. I'm starting with this peach and I'm just pressing it in around my eyes where I have a lot of darkness, and you'll see how this is the correct tone for me, so it's going to bring it back out to neutral. It's not going to look incredibly peachy on the skin. See here how this kind of blends in back to this even skin tone around my forehead? This, in comparison, this is where we want to be. Now I want to dip into this green. This green is a tad bit strong for my complexion, so I'm going to go 2 dips into the green, 1 dip into the yellow, and then I'm going to pop it over redness that I think actually detracts from my complexion. I like some of my redness. I love the little bits I have over my cheeks, but I find this is just distracting from my overall beauty, so it has to go. I don't love this little red patch, so she's got to go as well. Now we're here, and I want to take it a step further. This is the Chantecaille Future Skin Oil-Free Gel Foundation, and I bought this because Donny Davy, who is the makeup director of Euphoria, swore by this on one season for a no foundation look when it came to set and film work, and that is almost exactly the look you want to go for when it comes to emulating the look of a period drama. What I'm going to do, as to not disrupt all the work we've done underneath, is dot this over, and then I will go in with a brush and just press it into place. No swiping. If you swipe, all that carefully placed correction is gone. You're just gonna wipe it all over your face. This is how you do it. Once that's pressed in with the brush, I'm going in with a sponge, just very lightly to make sure nothing's sitting on top of the skin. Tiny bit more of the Chantecaille to suit my needs. If you were of a similar complexion to me, here are 2 blush tones I think might work really beautifully for you. The first is a little bit cooler. This is a tone I'm pulling from Rhodes Pocket Blush in Sleepy Girl. I've been wearing this a phenomenal amount since it landed in my collection. It may be my favorite cream blush. The curation and formulation on this is just dreamy. The other is Old Reliable. This is a MAC Glow Play blush in Ginger Luck. This is in the new formulation. I was wearing a lot of Blush Please in the old formulation, but for a warmer choice for my complexion, these shades that look almost like nothing in the pan truly are perfect for the period drama heroine. Also, an honourable mention that I may use to mix today. This is Merit's Raspberry Beret, which will be beautiful on anyone with kind of a wintry colour palette. I don't usually adhere to the seasons, but they're a good reference. I'm actually going to use the Merit, and I'm going to pop it in a little bit of a Renaissance flush. This is a blush placement that comes down and out that was popularised this year by calling it boyfriend blush, which I think is a little bit demeaning to the fact that everyone flushes like this. It is commonly a blush placement I've seen in pre-Raphaelite paintings, the idealized version of a woman's flush through a painter's eye. Don't panic, I still need to blend. I'm just going to show you other places. I'm going to pop the blush to bring dimensionality into the face and to give us a little bit of tonal variation. Tap that in. And then for a little bit of variation, I like to add a second blush. I'm using my Road blush for this one in a slightly more contained placement. This is a little bit more red, and this is going to give such a beautiful effect once it's done. Look me in the eyes and hear me when I say we're going in with a light hand with the concealer, and I'm going in over the top of the blush so that the blush doesn't take over the face whatsoever. I promise you this is less concealer than I usually use. I'm only going to do one layer too. I'm showing self-restraint. Bronte, all of this work to make it seem like you're barely wearing any makeup at all. Yes, that's the point. That is the point. I hate to break it to everyone who's anti these sorts of looks, who doesn't understand when you could just go out barefaced, but we're living a fantasy here. I'm in a chemise. I want to look like there's a man in a billowing shirt walking towards me at any given moment, in a non-threatening way. Contour didn't exist in the 1800s. I'm going to indulge, however, because I look like a moon. Look straight ahead into a mirror. Note where the natural contour of your face falls, and all you want to do is just, ooh, that's it. That's all you need. That will bring a little bit of structure to the face without taking this somewhere sculpted, somewhere it doesn't need to go. I'm also going in with a semi-structured brush to press this in to ensure that there's no real migration of that contour placement. No contour on the forehead because it's too clockable. It's too easy not to blend that out enough. I can spot it a mile away. Before we go any further, I want to give you a real up-close look at the complexion. You see how you can still see all of my freckles? Quite literally every single one. But nothing incredibly distracting. No pimples popping out. No little bits of redness that shouldn't be there. That's what the effect should be. And it takes time to figure out how to do this. It takes a little bit of practice and figuring out what cream correctors are going to really set and stay put, but once you've got it, you're kind of golden. It's at this point that we're going to spray the face with setting spray. If you want the full in-depth explanation, I have a base routine live on this channel. I promise you that none of those women are incredibly shiny. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Huda Beauty loose powder on a powder puff. I'm going to work that into my hand to make sure there's no excess sitting on top, and then I'm going to press that through the center of the face. The actual eye product I wanted to use here that I had in mind was the Singular Merit Beauty Solo Shadow that I use in the shade Studio. I only have one, and it has gone off with the fairies, so today instead we're going to use these Bobbi Brown dual-ended Longwear eye sticks. I'm only going to use the matte side. You want to pick a cream shadow that has some setting capacity and some longevity to it. This is going to be really simple. I'm going to take a wash of it all over the eyes, blend it in with a synthetic brush, take the excess that's left on that synthetic brush, run that along the lower lash line. More loose powder, same synthetic brush, really unfussy. Work it in and then press that over the lids. Curl your lashes incredibly well and then curl them again and again if you have to, until they are as fluttery as butterflies. So there is a version of this look for those of you strong enough that doesn't require mascara. You wear none, you just curl your lashes, pop on a little bit of a blotted lip and a brow, and you are golden and you are good to go. Unfortunately, I'm not that strong. I'm not that strong. I love frills, I love makeup, I love mascara. I love my lashes being defined. So I will be going in with the Half Magic Extreme Lengthening Mascara. Can we have a moment to appreciate the difference between those two sets of eyelashes? That's stunning. I also recommend that if you're doing this look, pick a mascara that matches your hair color, no matter how insane that sounds. If that ends up with you having pink fluttery lashes that look like they've grown out of your lash line, out of your own eyeballs, well, now you're the main character. There is something so ethereal about people matching their mascara and their hair color. I love to see it. Now I unfortunately have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is my brows. There's no way of making the brows that I currently have look naturally fluffy and perfect, like I have a tail at all to speak of. So I'm just gonna do what I need to do for my brows. You do what you need to do for your brows, and then I think we split the difference and we meet back in the middle, and I'll show you the lips and the cream highlight and all of that beautiful gorgeous stuff. For a while, when it came to this type of look, this genre of look, my favorite cream highlight was the Chanel, the translucent balm. It's just a really lovely thin texture that doesn't disrupt makeup. It sits over the top well, it wears throughout the day. And then I got this Merit. This is the Cava Day Glow Highlighting Balm. I got this when they started shipping to Australia, and I've used quite a bit of it. I really do enjoy it. I've flattened out their little dome. I'm not just gonna swipe this on. That's not the name of the game here. We want really purposeful placements. So I'm going in with a finger, and I'm just gonna tap that over the very high points of the face. And I'm also gonna put a little bit of it on the inner corner for radiance around the eyes. This is the Hourglass Evil Eye Ambient palette. I'm going in with Luminous Light, which is kind of a soft finishing powder, and I'm just tapping this everywhere I did not place that highlight. For lips, I'm going to present you two formulations if you want to replicate this tutorial, and I'm going to explain why they work. One is the Fui Blurry Pudding Pot. These are a soft matte formula, not this color, I wouldn't go with this color. They give you the most beautifully airbrushed effect on the lips. These are buildable, so you can build these up to quite an intense color, or you can keep them light and use them as a wash of color on the lips and cheeks. Fabulous. The Bisou balms from Violette. These are supposed to give you a blotted lip. They're kind of that blotted lip formula that's been trending for a couple of years now. I just find these don't dry my lips out. They make my lips look larger because I can very subtly overline my natural lip line. And as someone who has a double lip line, like my actual pigment of my lip does not extend out to where my lip ends. These fill in that gap really beautifully. I mean, they both do. It's just two different formats for a very similar effect in the end. Though this one is less buildable than this one, so if you're a more natural girly, the Bisou Balm all the way. Before I go in with my lipstick of choice, I'm going in with the Remand Lip Mate Pencil in Fig Breeze. This has a really rounded end and a formula that is less interested in incredible pigmentation and more interested in sitting really softly and beautifully on the lips and melding in with the natural lip tone, and I love to see it. I love this formula. If you've been on this channel for a little while, you've seen me use these. This is the shade Betise. It is my shade, my personal shade. It's so perfect. And this is the finished look. It feels like such a simple look, but it's all about the really tiny nuances as you progress through each step that bring it together in what is effectively you, but through a painter's eye. It gives me the vibe of the first season of Bridgerton and Pride and Prejudice and A Great, and these really beautiful historic dramas with these really beautiful women. And I hope if you try it, you feel beautiful. I love you all so much, and I'll see you another time. Bye.